God bless America. Hello, everybody. Protege off topic here. I wanted to talk about something that's not much related to politics. We are going to talk a little bit about reporting and the way that kind of thing is done in this day and age. But I think what I want to focus on a lot, and what I hope I don't get again off topic on, is talking about dietary habits and some interesting things that I observed while reading this column from the New York Times. Now, let's just get the reporting stuff out of the way first. The headline of this piece, in my opinion, does not accurately reflect the reporting behind the headline. And I say that because the headline is a little hyperbolic. The headline is trying to get you to think that there's zero link between quantity of calories eaten and your weight. They're trying to link 100 to 0, quality to quantity. And at least for me, that's not true, because I've lived the quantity-focused diet and was successful. So at least for one person on this earth, quality is not all important. But that's not what is reported in the column. The New York Times, I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to use a headline that makes you think, how could this be possible, to read the whole piece? But it's somewhat indicative of the current journalism era that we live in, that people do not consume an entire piece of information. The most that a majority, I would say, of people consume is a headline. The headline is all the reporting that they need. So they'll read a headline: "The key to weight loss is diet quality, not quantity, a new study finds." And they think, okay, a study is saying that quantity is not related to weight loss. That's all I need to know, and I'll go on about my day, and I won't take the time to read the column and see what's in it. Now, I'm going to stop talking about media portrayal of the issues now, and I'm just going to get into what's in this piece, because I think that it is important, and I think that what the study really does, and what I think the New York Times had an opportunity to more effectively communicate to people, is demonstrate that for many people who struggle with controlling their weight around the world, not just in this country, it's going to take more than a change of what I do with my food and a change of how I think about my diet. So the description of the study is found fairly early in the column. In the second paragraph, they say that people who cut back on added sugar, refined grains, and highly processed foods while concentrating on eating plenty of vegetables and whole foods without worrying about counting calories or limiting portion sizes lost significant amounts of weight over the course of a year. Now, that is interesting. They say in a couple of places how there are two fads that are kind of circulating in the dietary community, in the weight loss community right now, I guess would be the word for it. There's the Nazi-like control over the quantity of calories that you take in, and there's the adherence to diets that are tailored for your genetic footprint. And they talk about that in a couple of places. And so that's why this opening paragraph is significant, because it's suggesting that we ought to shift away from those kind of focuses. A focus of quality means nothing, it's all about quantity, and a focus of you need a specific diet that's designed just for you. And the results, the short version of the results that they talk about down here in this paragraph, the bottom line: diet quality is important for both weight control and long-term well-being. But one of the doctors that worked on the project said it is not that calories don't matter. After all, both groups ultimately ended up consuming fewer calories on average by the end of the study, even though they were not conscious of it. The point is that they did this by focusing on nutritious whole foods that satisfied their hunger. And if you skip that big middle there, maybe you're reading this and you're thinking, okay, the headline, catches my attention. Let me read the beginning and the end, and I'll get everything that I need without having to read this whole column. You miss a key line, and I hope I can find it quickly, that talks about the way that some of the diets in the current state are being used and utilized, the way that they're being followed, and you miss a crucial observation that some of the participants pointed out that the doctor observed. And here it is. First of all, the line right above where I want to start, some people gained weight and some lost as much as 50 to 60 pounds. Now, if you read the headline, the key is quality, not quantity, and then you read this line, some people gained weight and some lost as much as 50 to 60 pounds, that leaves me asking a lot of questions. I wonder, what were the quantities of the supposedly high-quality diets that these people were taking in? How well were they sticking to their diets, especially the people that were gaining weight? What was their weight when they started out? At one point I think it says that they started with people who were obese. So how did those people gain weight? What were they doing wrong that caused them to gain weight? And it's an observation that Dr. Garner here gives to the Times. The people who lost the most weight reported that the study had changed their relationship with food. They no longer ate in their cars or in front of their television screens, and they were cooking more at home and sitting down to eat dinner with their families, for example. Now, especially, I want to say especially if you live in the South, you know that home-cooked meals taste better than most any place that you'll go and to get food. And it turns out, if you begin to start counting calories for a diet, and you're eating home-cooked meals and eating out sometimes, you can see the difference in how much you eat based on where you're eating. It's a lot easier to eat more food when you go and eat out because, number one, you're already spending a lot of money on that food, so you're thinking, well, I might as well get as much food as I can get for the money that I'm willing to spend. And so you get that more food and then you eat it all at that one time. Whereas if you're eating at home, it's a lot easier to use less food in the first place, and the food that is prepared for you to prepare, if that makes sense, is prepared in such a way that it's just less calories. But what's really important, I think, is that part there that's in quotations. They changed their relationship with food. And the examples that they give, they no longer ate in their cars or in front of their television screens. It makes me wonder, I would like to see a study done that asks the question, what is food to you? Is food something to keep you occupied when you're bored? Is food something that occupy you when you're bored is the most obvious thing I can think of. And maybe I have a poor imagination when it comes to this. I just can't see food being anything more than sustenance or something that you do when you're bored. So it's going to take, it appears to me, a change in mindset. It's going to take people evaluating how they think about their food in order to really lose weight. Because if something is a burden, it's harder to do. So when you're taking on a diet and you say, well, I'm going to cut out these things that I like to eat, I'm going to reduce my caloric intake, that becomes a burden and some people can't handle that. But if you change the way that you think about your food, and you're not thinking about your food as a toy, something to keep you entertained, but instead you're thinking about food is only something that I need when I'm hungry. And I'm going to change the things that I eat so that I only eat things that make me feel full quickly with a small number of calories. That sounds like a path to people having a lot easier time managing their diet. Now, I haven't said so far, but I'm a big proponent of the calorie counting diet. And the reason that I think this way is, number one, you can set your weekly goal to be something low so that you still have a lot of calories to play with. And if you're only controlling quantity, you're not controlling quality, you don't have to cut out anything from your diet that you enjoy eating. Just as some anecdotal evidence, I went on a quantity over quality control diet. I set my goal, I went off my calorie budget, and I said I'm going to undereat every day so that at the end of the week I can splurge on something. I can have something that I really love, something that's high calories that I can't eat throughout the week, but can just have one time as part of my diet. And that really helped me out. I know other people struggle with this dietary plan, so maybe they do need a bigger change in mindset than it takes to just say, I'm going to turn on my diet switch so that I can lose some weight, and then once I get to a place that I want to be, I can start eating some of the things that I enjoy again. Let me know what you guys think. If it sounded like rambling, it's because it's something that I'm not really used to talking about. This is kind of an off-topic video. Let me know if you want to see more content like it. Something where I'm not talking much about politics, but I'm more talking about things that interest me, things that I think I have something useful to share with my viewers. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. If you come to this channel for politics all the time, I'm not doing diet videos very frequently. This is the first really off-topic video that I've done. Even when I did my movie reviews, I still got political a little bit with those. This is the first time that I've really left the reserve. So I really want to hear you guys' feedback. Let me know what you're thinking, what you think about this video. Make sure that you come back for our next report tomorrow. Until then, good night and God bless.